Well, hello. My name is Loundlim, and what you see right here is something quite new. And as you can see, it's a start of a new castle, because I didn't like the old one very much, and so I decided to build a new one. Actually, the problem with the old one was that it actually was kind of small compared to the rest of the park I had in mind, because the world park is divided into multiple maps, which means that each land has its completely own map, and I try to fill all the maps I have. So I also have one map only for the main street, the entrance, and the castle, and the small paths around that area which lead to different areas, different themed areas to the lands. And so I figured I need a bigger castle than I had before. And I also wanted to make the area around it a lot prettier than than the one I already had. Well, we actually saw some parts of the castle. It looks quite different now. Of course, it's not finished. And right here I'm experimenting with stuff, I guess. And that was really weird, because that tower block, was not really fitting the pieces that were made for it, and you just saw that. Well, right here I just tried out a few different roofs, so because I'm a big fan of variation, and if you have a Disney castle, you're definitely gonna need some variation, and in terms of things, well, it was not pretty accurate, but what I mean is you have a bunch of towers, and each tower has to look completely different. They all have to need to have similarities, but also a lot of differences. So yeah, for example, what I use now is it's this round roof, and I actually raised it right here, but I'm going to remove it later on because it just looked awful. It looks like these revolving light towers. Do you say it like that? I'm not quite sure, but well, you know what I mean. It looked shitty, and so I removed it and had an idea that actually turned out pretty well. Because I have that small tower, and the roof of that tower just fits perfectly to this roof. So it looks like this. And this way I got a roof with a completely different shape than all the others. Also kind of interesting, I think, are these real towers on the side, like the one you just see there. Which is from Ralphie's Arabian set. I think it's the Arabian Nights one. I'm not quite sure though. And they are an interesting try. I'm not sure if I really want to keep them exactly like this, but I just don't want these spike roofs everywhere. Like I said, variation is important. So yeah. The Main Street music is a tiny bit annoying. Well, it's not my problem. You have to listen to this. I'm just gonna record this, and yeah. Well, this is also my first voiceover episode, I would say. So I'm actually not sure if I keep what I record right here. But yeah, something really funny is that I'm actually sitting far away from the computer and watching the footage on a a little bit bigger screen, just because I'm using my phone to record my voice, and the problem is I have a laptop and you hear the fan and it just sounds awful. I also have a microphone in my laptop. I use that for Skyping, but it's also not that great. Yeah. I'm actually not sure if I kept these roofs, these blue roofs I put under these dome kind of towers. But yeah. I'm not sure what I just removed by there, but something I also quite like are the golden spheres I put on the top of each roof. That gives the whole castle a tiny bit more detail. And there was just the American, what is that called? You say National Hymn in Germany, but I'm not sure what it's called in English. Well, you know what I mean. What I did right here, I actually tried to use the windows that are made for the quarter tile round walls from the Main Street sets, and as you can see, they didn't really fit because these are outward pieces. These are Station Gym's quarter tile round walls from how are this set called again? Ghost Cabin. It's from Ghost Cabin 4. And these seem to be outside pieces, so they are a tiny bit bigger. But what I noticed is that these make pretty cool arches, some kind of, not arches, but decorational piece that are just typical for a Disney castle. And they just look great. They don't look like windows at all, and I like that. Well, at some point I thought this castle is cool, but it needs to be a tiny bit higher, and I just try to find ways to make it higher and higher without looking weird. And yeah, I was still searching for better roofs, but didn't found any really fitting ones. I tried to use something from Station Gym's chapel sets, but they don't have any. What's happening over here? Well, anyways, they just in these sets were just pieces for full tile curved walls. And I thought maybe it looks cool if I have one giant fat tower in the middle of a castle with a small one coming out of it. It looked and sounded better when I had it in mind. You will just see it looks awful. I even had to use different scenery pieces, and of course the texture is different and the color's a little off, and it just looks awful. Tried experimented with really weird roofs, and of course this doesn't look like something you would want to have on a Disney castle, for obvious reasons. And this thing doesn't make it any better. And then I... Ooh, what is this? Oh, these are also big roofs. I thought these are quarter tile ones, but what I actually tried right there was to have one of these typical golden towers you always find on Disney castles, but that just look shitty as hell. This video is actually pretty long, it's about 20 minutes long, and that's because at the end I'm doing something pretty cool. I don't mean these mods or this tower. I said there was a lack of roofs, but you will see. Something I always do is not to have a real plan on what I'm doing, but it's more like I have a general shape of a building in mind and just try out things and do what I like best. Actually, the footage is lagging right now because probably right now it's because I just looked at my desktop and developed a game, and OBS recorded Resident Evil 3. I hope that it's over in a few seconds. Well, what the piece you see on the right, on the tower, with some tree-like decoration, that's actually something I made myself for my old Disney castle. And the detail is just so small that you don't notice it at all from far away. So it was intentionally made for a balcony, but looks just way better as a roof support. And in the background you can see some grasslands, that is truly amazing. And you can hear some annoying... Oh, very good. Some annoying Main Street music. Yeah? Oh, I'm listening to it. Yeah, now we have some very interesting footage where I'm doing tons of stuff. Tons of interesting things are happening. Not. Right now you actually can see the shape of the castle, and what I try to achieve is not... Oh, there's some kind of cookies laying around here. What I'm trying to achieve though is to have more like a shape the Paris Disney Castle has. And I think that one is really different because it has more like a Y shape but inverted. I'm not sure how to say that. The usual Disney Castle, especially the Walt Disney World one, is just really massive. It has that massive building that looks like a castle, and the castle that is just a massive building and then towers. And what I really like about the Disneyland Paris one, that is that it actually uses the environment around it and starts to become higher and higher. It's more like a curve that, like two curves that hit each other at the top. It's hard to explain. You have to really look at that castle to understand what I mean. Oh, and now I'm switching to something else. Well, what I'm doing right here is I actually stole one of Station Jim's roof textures, and I asked him once and he allowed me to do so. I hope he's fine with this, I guess. I hope. Well, he probably is. And what I'm actually trying to do is to make my own roof texture for custom Disney castle roofs. Because what I thought is that there are a bunch of roofs, especially round roofs, that just don't exist. And if you look at the castles from various Disneylands or even Disney World, you will notice that over the year they use different roofs and replace the old one. And there's one version of the castle Disneyland Paris which has a transition from a blue roof to gold roofs, and I wanted to be able to have a transition between two colors as well. So I made such a texture, and yeah, at this point you can already see I already modeled that. I have no idea why I didn't record that modeling, but well, I just don't know. And I tried to find out different methods to actually get a seamless, to put the texture on the roof as seamless as possible, but it didn't work at all, and it looked really stupid. Because the roof, the piece in the background I was projecting from, had a really different shape. If you now look at the roof, it just looked awful. And what I did was I looked at how Station Jim made his roofs and how the textures were placed right there, because I couldn't imagine him just to move and resize the texture for each face on the roof, and it would have been so much work and wouldn't have worked in the end. And then I thought maybe he did it like this and just had a square above his roof, but that looked even worse after I projected it. And I'm actually not quite sure if that's a transition texture, if it's part of this recording or if I didn't record that as well. But I made a texture, and it's alright, it works quite well. And yeah, as I can see, the video is close to its ending. I didn't record that. Too bad. What I actually did though is I made some extra details you can put on your roofs if you want to, and these are like beams that are just follow the edge of the roof from the bottom to the top, and it also looks pretty cool. I want to make them recolorable, just like roofs, so you can have your custom transition colors, I guess. I just need to stop right here because the video is about to end, and I have to say bye bye and tell you the more interesting things next time. And I hope you enjoyed this voiceover episode, and hope I'm even loud enough. Well, until next time, I just don't have any more time. Bye bye.